Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and you're probably wondering why you haven't seen me for a week. And I have had all sorts of things going on and I thought I'd tell you about some of it and then show you. So just over 18 months ago, my late uncle passed away at the ripe old age of 98. And me and my two sons had to go up to his house in Scotland, which is over 500 miles away from where I live, and clear his bungalow, ready to go onto the market for sale. Now, his bungalow was filled with 150 years worth of all sorts of treasures and sentimental pieces and pictures and just full. So you can imagine the task ahead, but we've got it all done. It's all sorted and I have a spare room full of all sorts of things. I have a home with some beautiful pieces in that I brought back, which have some great sentimental value. And I had 3 suitcases full of photographs, which I've started to go through, and I thought I would show you some of the album that I've just started. There will be many more, but this is just sort of a précis because when I go, I want to pass things down to the rest of the family so they know some of the history. So I thought I would show you some of these because I thought some of you would be quite interested in some of the history. So this is the album, and I have used in here dimensionals to put them in because they are acid free, and obviously this is an acid free album. This album was actually in my uncle's things, and he'd always said that he wanted to actually have all of the photographs sort of put in together. So this is my great grandfather, and his name was Thomas Moravian Carter. And the Moravian comes because he was born on board the ship Moravian on the way back from India. My uncle and my mother's line of the family were all in the army for the Second World War, the First World War and before. So that's where they came from. So that is the rather dashing looking Thomas Moravian Carter. And this is the little note that went into the newspaper when he passed away. And I'll read it to you because it says, Dr. Thomas Moravian Carter, whose death has taken place at Redland, Bristol, commanded one of the battalions of the Gloucestershire Regiment on the Western Front in 1916, and afterwards as Major in the RAMC, saw service in Egypt, the Mediterranean and in France. Being awarded the OBE, he afterwards became Regional Medical Officer in the National Service, first in the Midlands and then in the South Western District. Educated at Bristol Grammar School, he won the gold medal of his year at the Bristol General Hospital and was for a time in practice in the city. He was a past president of the Bristol Masonic Society and was honorary secretary of the Bristol branch of the Bristol and Gloucester Archaeological Society. He married Ada Clara, daughter of the late H.W. Just, and leaves a son, Major Eric Graham Carter, RE, and 3 daughters. So that was my great-grandfather. Wonderful picture. And then we have, going through, I'll start on this side. These are the oldest pictures that I've got. This photo is dated 1897 and was taken at Christmas time. And that is Thomas Moravian Carter. That is my grandfather, which is Eric, and that is Ada, his wife. And this one down here, to sort of move them along because it's quite a big album. So this one is Ada when she was a girl, and that was her brother Leo. Then this is Ada when she was just had my grandfather Eric, and that's Eric again. So these are dating from 1897. Incredible. Then we have this picture, these pictures here, which again are all of Eric, and he was born on January the 8th, 1896, and that was my grandfather. And that's a picture of him and my great-grandmother in on there. I mean, I think the dress, the outfits and things, this is a little boy, but they had all of these sort of incredible sort of lace and ruffles and things like that on. So, the costumes and things are absolutely phenomenal. So let's go on to the other. So this is my grandfather when he is older, and this is a picture of him on January the 1st, 1918. So this was during, that's him there in the middle. This was during, obviously, the First World War. And, he's on horseback and, riding through. So that's, these are photographs I shall treasure forever, which is why I've put some of them in the album, and then I'm going to make other albums. So this again is my great-grandfather, and this is during the First World War. So there's different pictures there. And then there's a picture of all the nurses as well. And he's in that picture, obviously not as a nurse. And then this is him. So this is going through as we get into later years. So this is him in 1922. And again, pipe smoking. But I don't know whether that's his hat or whether that's his wife's hat, my great-grandmother's, because it looks as if it's a lady's brimmed hat. But it could possibly have been his, I don't know. But you can see even the dress, a waistcoat, a woolen waistcoat and a tie and then a pipe. And then this is a lovely picture, which is of my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother in their garden. And I love the way he's very gently just holding her. I think it's lovely. And obviously this is, I think he's sort of vegetables and things in there. There's all sorts of plants and stuff in the garden, which is really rather nice. Okay, so let's go on to, there we are. This again, so this is my uncle who just passed away at 18 months. He would have been 100 years old in June, so next month. And he was born on, this photograph was taken on September 1922, and he was 3 months old. He was born on June the 2nd, 1922. And that's him with my great-grandmother. You see, again, long dresses, beautiful in the 20s. I just love the costumes and things from all of it. Okay, so this is the family, and this is my great-grandfather, so Thomas, and his wife, Ada. And then these are my great-aunts and my grandfather. And I never met any of these people. So I did meet some of the great-aunts, but I never met my grandfather. So the 3 great-aunts, I met 2 of them. One of them actually lived in Australia. And she was an artist and also founded the Red Cross over in Australia. So, which was, quite good, I think. And I'm not sure we have stories and things. So that's the family. And then this is a gorgeous picture of my great-grandparents when they were older. So that's my great-grandmother, beautiful face. and that's her for her 80th birthday, and that's my great grandfather, and he looks very similar to my uncle in his later years. So, and I haven't got pictures of that old. Okay, now we've got my grandparents' wedding. Now look at the costume on there and the beautiful flowers. Just lovely. And then there's a smaller picture of this picture here. And this again, you know, if you look at the absolutely amazing picture here of all of the family here, and you've got both my great grandmothers on either side, and their hats and their costumes, just absolutely incredible. And again, my great grandfather, my great aunts. So a lovely picture. I think, as I say, I'm going to treasure these for a long time. Now we go on to the war pictures. So this is my grandfather and my grandmother, and that's my grandmother. She was in the I'll think of it in a minute, but she was in the nursing, can't think of the word, but she was in the nursing. And then I've got, which I'm not going to read because it's quite long, but I've got the letter of my grandfather's passing. And he also got the OBE, again for his war services. So, you know, an awful lot. So that's my grandfather. And again, it says, we must also congratulate Major Graham. They've just put Major Graham. So it's Major Graham Carter, Royal Engineers, who has been awarded the OBE Military Division. So, and that was taken in November 1915. So this was coming up for, and during and after the First World War. So this is the 7th of December, 1920. Again, very, very, very dapper looking gentleman, you know, amazing. I never met any of these people because they'd long gone before I was born. So, and this is my grandmother. So we have my grandmother in 1920, again when she was nursing. And there again is my grandmother. Now these pictures were taken for her engagement. And there again, my grandmother having a break while she was nursing. And again, another picture of her. So there's her on there, which again is absolutely incredible. I'm so proud of these pictures. And this one again, I think is absolutely lovely, because those are pictures of her that were taken for her engagement. So I think, which is lovely. And now we've got some pictures of, so that's a picture of my grandfather and my grandmother. And then that's my uncle, and that's my mum. So those are pictures of the family, which was rather lovely. And then I've got this amazing letter, which was dated, or is dated 1918, and is, hold on, I've got one more picture on here. So this says, the Queen joins me on welcoming you on your release from the miseries and hardships which you have endured with so much patience and courage. During these many months of trial, the early rescue of our gallant officers and men from the cruelties of this captivity has been uppermost in our thoughts. We are thankful that this longed-for day has arrived, and that back in the old country you will be able once more to enjoy the happiness of a home and to see good days among those who anxiously look for your return. George R.E. And that was dated 1918. And this letter was sent out to all of the people, or a lot of the people that came back from the war. So, you know, again, that's one that's going to be treasured for a long time. I haven't put that one in because it's very, very precious, that one. And that's my uncle when he was a young boy. So again, you know, lovely picture of him. And then this is a picture of my little mum when she was a young girl. And she was born on the 4th of October 1924. So again, you know, we're talking 98, 100 years ago, so long time ago. And this is my uncle in his military uniform. And then we've got a little clipping from the paper which says 4 honours in 2 days. Lieutenant Peter Eric Graham Carter, RE, son of Lieutenant Colonel E.T. Graham Carter, OBERE, and Mrs. Graham Carter of Lookout House, the North Weymouth, who was appointed adjutant promoted captain, mentioned in dispatches, and awarded the French Croix de Guerre with star in silver, all within 48 hours. So, you know, he really did, he was a very unassuming man, but he really did so many amazing things during the Second World War. So that's him. And then we go on to another picture. Again, say very, very dapper looking gentleman. He really was. And that's him skiing. So, you know, I think with all different friends and things going skiing. And then this is a rather lovely picture, which is this is my great grandmother's 80th birthday. And that's my mum looking my mum looked very Audrey Hepburn like in some of her years. And that's my uncle. And then that's my mum again, which again, I just love those pictures. I think that she was beautiful then. And then this goes to when my mum was little. And these are all just pictures of her dancing. So I'm just going to move those across so you can see her dancing when she was little. And she was with my grandparents in Malta. So this was in 1936, and these were taken while she was in Malta, before she went off to boarding school, because obviously being in the forces, they travelled all over the place, and she and my uncle were in boarding school. And this is a picture of her when she was younger, and then a little bit older. So these are sort of 1930s, and I think that's as far as I've got. But I just wanted to sort of show you, and then I found this one picture as well, which I thought I would just bring up so you can see. And this is a picture of King Edward the Seventh and the Duke of Connaught at Custom House. So how about that? So you can see I have so many things to sort out and organise, but I just wanted to share some of these with you because I have just got so many beautiful things and I want to spend some time in doing them. So I will be back doing some of my my card making and things very soon, probably later on this week. But I just thought I would come on to say that, you know, I am around, but I have been doing some of the things that have been very nostalgic and have brought lots of smiles, but have been quite emotional as well. So I wish you all, as I say, to stay safe and stay well and be kind. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.